Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm painting Appa the Skybison from Avatar using gouache paints. Gouache is a water-based medium similar to watercolors, except they're opaque. It is often used in illustrations but can be used in virtually any style. I really like it for subjects like this that have definitive areas of light and shadow. Gouache is painted using a thicker consistency than with watercolors, much like acrylics. If you're used to painting with acrylics, this would be a good medium for you. It dries with a soft matte finish. One of the biggest differences from watercolors, besides the opacity, is how the paint dries. Watercolors tend to dry lighter and fainter than when they are wet. Gouache has a significant color shift. Darker colors dry lighter, and lighter colors dry a bit darker. So it's good to test out your colors before starting your painting. You can see I've done this on the left side of the sketchbook. I do have a quick announcement to make. I want to thank everyone who subscribed to me recently. I just hit my first YouTube milestone of 100 subscribers, so thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to build this community. If you are new to my channel, my name is Noreen and I create tutorials for watercolor and painting videos. If that's something you're interested in, please subscribe and let me know what tutorial topics you'd most like to see. Another aspect of gouache that's different from watercolors is that you want to paint dark to light rather than light to dark. Also, gouache reactivates on the paper a lot more easily, so it isn't suitable for glazing or layering, as the layers underneath will reactivate and mix with the layer on top. You'll generally want to plan out where each color will go ahead of time. That's not to say that you can't blend or layer on the page. You definitely can do this to get some really nice painterly results. Always start with a thinner consistency of gouache and build up to thicker layers as you go. Just make sure it's not too thick or it may crack after it dries. Here I'm using the Himi Jelly Gouache Cup set that I bought on Amazon last year. Even though it's been in my art box for several months, the paints are still moist and I didn't need too much water to use them right away. I really love this set. I'm not sure about the light fastness rating on these, but it's great for my sketchbook and fun to use. The best part about having them in these cups is that the paints are ready to use and I don't have to worry about drying leftover paint on my palette that I've squeezed out of a tube or wasting paint. Unlike with watercolors where you add more water to lighten the intensity of a color, with gouache you would add either white to lighten it or black to darken it. Mixing colors that have both white and black in them will result in a grayish color, so that's something to pay attention to. There are many brands of gouache available, from inexpensive like this one to professional brands such as M. Graham and Winsor Newton Designer's Gouache. I often use gouache in my watercolor pieces to bring back any highlights or to add splatter, which I love to do. If you're considering using white gouache like this, I suggest getting the titanium white as opposed to the zinc white. The zinc white is primarily intended for mixing with other gouache colors to lighten them, and is not as opaque as the titanium white, which is meant to be painted as the white color on top. You can use your regular watercolor brushes with these paints, though I would definitely suggest something synthetic, such as any brushes you might normally use for acrylics. Since these paints are a bit thicker, the stiffer brush is better to use. I also recommend using a palette knife to make any mixes so the paint doesn't collect on the brush unmixed. One of the great things about using gouache is that you don't have to buy expensive, specially treated paper, and you can use affordable student grade brushes rather than high-priced natural bristle brushes like you do with watercolor. You can use gouache in almost any sketchbook or pad of inexpensive paper that you have. I would suggest at least using 90-pound paper since it is a water-based medium, and a thicker paper will hold up a little better. I often use gouache with my non-cotton sketchbooks and mixed media pads, as it works really well on those and they're super affordable. You can use gouache straight out of the tube, or you can dry it in a palette like watercolors, as they can be reactivated with water. However, keep in mind that gouache dried in a palette will not be as vibrant as it is straight out of the tube, but the difference is minimal except for the white. If you haven't tried gouache before, I would definitely recommend giving it a shot. What kind of pieces would you make with it? Let me know in the comments. Here's the finished piece. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some useful information out of it. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.